Welcome to the Books, Beards, Booze podcast, where we talk books, drink booze, and have beards.
All right. As always, I am Bob of Tales by Bob.
I'm the ass of the podcast, Derek.
I am creative consultant, unpaid intern.
She doesn't remember her name. That's
investor.
how old she is.
No, investor. That's the word I was getting hung up on. Investor, Tanya.
Alzheimer's. It's
You got to
unfortunate.
pick two.
Oh, so you're gonna make me be like Panera now? You get to pick two.
Yeah.
Unpaid intern, creative consultant, Tanya.
Okay.
Intern.
I'm okay with you
creative
dropping
intern.
creative intern.
Return.
Is she-
So we're moving you up from unpaid intern to creative intern.
I guess. Creative consultant sounds super
Crea-
fancy though. I
Creative
love that.
consultant.
I love that. I love
can-
it. Creative consultant, Tanya.
Creative consultant Tanya. Okay. I can live with that.
Yeah.
That is your title until you fuck it up.
It's only a matter of time.
It really is.
Probably by the end of this episode. Honestly.
And
So, yeah. Safe bet. All right. So this episode, we decided this is going to be more of an informational kind of podcast. We
Get a pen and pen ready.
pin in what?
Pen and paper ready.
that
we have
is
a lot of info.
not what
What
you
you
said
said.
at all. Unpaid intern,
Back
Tanya.
to intern.
Wow.
That was fast.
That was quick.
Yeah. No.
quick.
Pen and paper could be useful.
Or just listen to it twice.
Yeah, just listen to it twice. You know,
3 times, 4 times.
Lots. We're gonna throw a lot of information at you because we talk about a lot of stuff on here,
Mm-hmm.
and we like, oh hey, we really like this thing and this thing and this thing, and you might be like, well, I've kind of thought about that, but I just don't know much about it, or like Kindle Unlimited. What even is that? They're always talking about it. Like, what's that all about?
What's it all about?
What's that all about? So we thought we would kind of go down the list of things that we're generally aware of that we use to find books, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have a list here, and let's start talking about Goodreads.
Ugh, I love Goodreads.
So Derek, you've just kind of, I know you've technically been
Yeah.
on Goodreads, but it seemed like you've actually started to use it a little bit.
Yeah, I logged in. I always just forget it.
Yeah.
I just forget it's there.
Well, I'll tell you what you might want to do is do the book challenge. So what you can do is, like, every year you tell it how many books you want to read, and it'll track it for you. And like every time you read a book, like especially like if you're reading books on Kindle, when you finish it, it'll automatically update Goodreads that you finished that book.
Oh.
And so that's a cool thing. I really like that. That's what's got me on there. Like, I've tried to get into Goodreads a few times, just never really have.
Yeah.
But the challenge is, that's where I'm tracking my 52 books in the year.
Yeah.
And it tells you like how far along you are. You're at 30, you've hit 30% of your goal for the year.
I like the Goodreads for their lists because you can
Yeah.
do book lists. Like their main ones are read, to be read, and there's a third one, currently reading.
Yeah.
So there's 3 main shelves that everybody gets, but you can do specific shelves for yourself because like there's a lot of books that I would like to read, but I forget about, so I just throw it on my Goodreads shelf, and then as I'm feeling spendy, I'll go through my my TBR shelf on Goodreads and see what I don't own and
Yeah.
try to remember, oh yeah, that's that
And
book about so
there's lots of there's lots of lists out there that people do.
Mm-hmm.
So but also for me, I've started going through all the books I've read and putting them on shelves, like all my sci-fi books on one shelf,
Yeah.
all my horror books on one shelf. So then it's helped me, a lot of times if we're doing so last week we did the Crush.
Yeah.
Who's your
Secret
crush
Admirer,
thing?
yeah.
I went through my list of books that I've read on there, just kind of scrolling through because I
Yeah.
always freak out who am I forgetting? What am I forgetting?
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm forgetting something. So whenever we do something like that, I like to scroll through my list of books to see if there's something that just jumps out at me, like, oh my god,
That's
of
what I
course,
did as well.
I can't. Oh man, I can't believe I almost forgot that.
Yeah.
So it kind of helps me. Plus, there's just tons of reviews on there, and it's owned by Goodreads is owned by Amazon, and it kind of cross pollinates a little bit.
I wish
like-
that they would update your Goodreads with Audible. That's my
Yeah,
only
that is
complaint.
one thing. Your Audible books don't, so I just manually put them in.
Yeah.
You can just manually.
So the reason I don't use it that much is because when I decided to use it the first time, I didn't understand exactly what I was doing, so I added a ton of books, and they all went to the same place, and I just have been too lazy to go back through there and
Yeah.
take the stuff that I have not read and put it into a want to read. And
There's
Gotcha.
a way to batch edit, I think.
Well, there's a
that-
there's a
and I
way
can
that
show
you can
you.
just go like you go into your books, like you just create the shelf, and then there's a little drop down. You just drop down like click, drop this, send to this shelf, click, drop this. Send
Yeah,
to
I've
this
just
shelf.
been lazy.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I keep meaning to go on there and like add more books that I've read, kind of deal, and
I really need to delete some stuff off my TBR because, like, some of it because it tells you the date that you put it on. Some of the stuff I put on there like 12 years ago,
Good Lord.
I'm probably not gonna read that. So
But I know, like I've added a bunch of people on there. Like there's a guy
Me, yeah.
that we went to high school with. He was I think I've asked you. I don't think you remember him, but he was like the grade above me. Just had like he actually just started reading Wheel of Time, and so like he's posting up like it shows like he updated that he's like 47% through this book, and like I've been talking to him about it like that. So you see like, oh hey, this person's reading this
Yeah.
book that you like. It's a quick, easy way. Like, oh shit, they're reading that. Let me just talk to them about it real quick. So I don't know. Goodreads, pretty neat. It's a good little time waster.
it's a good resource for finding other things to read also.
Yeah.
Because, like the people you follow, I follow some people I don't know, but I like their reviews. And so when they like a book or whatever, I'll read the review and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to read that. Sure. Or like things that you like, or Amy that we know.
Yeah.
Like she reads a lot. She puts up a bunch of books. I'm like, oh yeah, I could read that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in reading that.
And like if you know like if you want like when I was adding books on there, I would do searches for like I did like I read a bunch of military sci-fi when I was younger, like a ton of it. So I just looked up military sci-fi on there, and there are people that have made these lists. Like these books have been shelved military sci-fi by people, and I just going through the okay, yeah, I've read that, I've read that, I've read that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Kindle. Okay, first.
So I'm just now getting into this. So any information that you can give me, so that I better understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. All right, so I got a fair bit about that. First
Okay.
off, the thing to understand about Kindle is not a device. Kindle is a program.
Right.
Now, Amazon has made Kindle devices, but you don't need a Kindle device for
The
Kindle.
program.
Right.
Yeah.
You can
I-
have it on your phone. You can have it on iPads.
You can have it on your computer.
on your
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you can have it on pretty much anything. So I've had
If
people.
does it connect to the internet, you can probably get Kindle programming on there.
Yeah,
Probably.
So, I had a buddy of mine. Like, I would advertise books. He's like, "Well, man, like I just wish you could get it on iBooks or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have a Kindle." It's like, well, you don't. You've got
Just
an
get the app
iPad.
on your
just get the
iPad.
app. Like
Yeah.
couldn't get through to him. But yeah. So Kindle is an app. Mm-hmm. All right. But I would say the best way to use the app is on the actual devices that Amazon has designed for it. And there's two main ones. There's the Fire and the Paperwhite.
Yep.
So the one that
What date is this? That this is coming out on?
you'll have this comes out, you will have you'll have the Paperwhite. by
Yeah,
then.
I'll have my Paperwhite. It'll be my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, or near
Yeah.
it. Anyways.
Yeah. So, but what you have at this moment is a Fire. So all right. So the big difference between the Fire and the Paperwhite, the Paperwhite is really it's just for reading books.
Yep. Yep.
The Fire has a lot more utility. Like mine has a camera on it that I've never used. It's got
Fire is
access-
more like a tablet,
Right.
Yeah.
versus just, and I say just an e-reader.
Yeah.
But the Paperwhite is a good e-reader. It
Yeah.
does a good job at what it does. It doesn't have anything else because it's exclusively an e-reader versus the Fire, which is more like a traditional tablet.
And like I'll be honest, like if I had all to do over, like the Fire that you're borrowing from me, I actually played some apps on it. But my new Fire, I don't think I've ever played an app on it. I've never done anything but read books on it.
Yeah, I like the Fire because it has I can read
Color.
comics on it.
Oh yeah, because
Which is the only thing that almost made me like, hey mom, maybe let's return that and let's get me a, because she was like, which one do you want? I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you already bought me that, so let's just
yeah.
So,
luckily manga is all black and white, so
yeah, so there's that. But yeah, so that's kind of the devices. So you might be curious, how many Kindle ebooks are there?
All of them.
3.7 million.
Lots of books.
Lots of books.
And you could theoretically have all of them. You couldn't have them all on your device. But
Yeah, but if you had the money, you could buy them all. So Kindle uses its own file type, but you can load, like if you have books in PDF format and stuff like that, you can load them onto your Kindle.
I did that in college. I had
Yeah.
my first gen Kindle Fire, and you could also use the Kindle Fire to open PDFs, or
Yeah.
not PDFs, but PowerPoints.
Yeah,
And so I used, like in nursing school, I had my PowerPoint notes
You
on
were
there.
in nursing school?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
ask
wiped.
her why she quit.
Why'd you quit?
I wiped one ass and gagged. I was out.
I feel like maybe I did know this story then.
Wipe
Okay.
my hands and be done with that. But
You
yeah,
live
so
with
like
cats. You can't wipe a butt?
you don't touch the poop. Let's shelf that for later. But like, you know, being able to take out a stylus and write on the screen of my Kindle Fire on top of my nursing school notes was really cool.
Yeah.
But which you can do with a tablet, I guess.
Yeah. So, so if you have your Kindle, it will connect. It's designed to connect you to Amazon, so you can buy books. And like, you know, if you've got it, like a lot of times when you finish a book, it'll be like, hey, you know, review the book. Like, you know, how many stars?
Yeah.
Do you want to leave a review? Hey, here are some other books by that author. Here are some other books that
Similar.
people who have read
Yeah.
this have done. Like lots of suggestions. So that's pretty.
Because that's
cool.
what Amazon does, man. Like
Yeah.
they really pretty good at suggestive selling.
Yeah.
Their algorithms are
So, but that's all you need. Like, if you have a Kindle and you can buy books, as many books as you want, as you have money for, and boom, you've got them. Now, what I recommend is that you get Kindle Unlimited. It's not, all right, I'm going to acknowledge it's not for everyone. If you,
it's $10 a month.
yes.
So you need to be able to figure out a way to get your money's worth.
So here's I'm going to talk about what Unlimited is, and then I'll talk about who I recommend it for. All right. So it's an ebook subscription service that launched in July of 2014. When it opened, it had 640,000 books. It's now gone to 1.4 million books on there.
Jeez.
Almost 20,000 of those come with audible narration. Like come with it.
Those are the books that I look for.
Yeah. So you get a free Audible book with
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
deal, which your average Audible book is like what, like 25, 30 bucks?
You get 1 credit a month
Yeah.
or two.
Well,
if you're
we'll
doing
talk
the
about
fancy
Audible
thing, but
in
yeah.
depth in a minute, but like, so
Yeah.
like if you have Kindle Unlimited and you get one Audible narrated book off of there, you've basically made it worth your money for the next 3 months.
Yep.
Pretty much. Because you just got $30 worth of shit. All right. 900,000 of them have WordWise enabled.
So what is that?
All right, so it's short definitions that can be displayed in line above the difficult word.
Oh, cool. So I like
You just
those
turn
books
it
where I
on.
just
You just
hold,
gotta turn it on.
I just hold
You
the
just
button.
turn. You can do that, but like WordWise, if you turn it on, if there's a
Word that some people are like, it'll just automatically.
it'll
show up.
automatically above
Tiny, kind of the way
tiny.
it says like highlighters.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I
I've
ju-
seen that, and I wasn't really sure what it
I
was.
just found that recently.
Nice.
1,000 of these ebooks are Prime reading eligible as well. It means that they are available for free to Prime members, but not anyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be, I think, Harry Potter, because that's
Yeah,
how I
Harry
have
Potter's
it, yeah.
one, Handmaid's Tale is one. Some of the bigger. So all right. So here's the thing, though: Hachette, Macmillan, Simon & Schuster, HarperCollins, Penguin, the big publishers, they are not on Kindle Unlimited. They're not.
Yeah.
I think eventually they're going to have to do an ebook subscription service of their own. I have every bit of confidence they will not do it with Amazon. They will do it as their own service. They may do it as individual companies, but I think if they're smart, they'll pool their resources on
Yeah.
that one.
Oh my God! If they
Man.
all pulled that together, I would.
Yeah,
Get
but
that?
I guarantee you'd be It'll actually. I bet you it'll probably end up being more like an Audible. It'll be more like Audible than like Kindle Unlimited, if I had to guess.
Okay.
So your big name books are not going to be on there for the most part. But Amazon now has their own publishing houses. Like 47 North is their fantasy imprint. They all their stuff goes on there. So, and that's getting better and better as time goes by. So, if you read a lot, or you're trying to find a way to get cheap Audible books, Kindle Unlimited, very worth it.
Yeah.
And you can find but kind of the perception of it is, oh well, these books are free. A lot of people just throw them up there. They're not very good, and there is a lot of trash on.
Well, there's
Kindle
a
Unlimited.
million some odd books on there.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of trash. There's no gatekeeping. Anyone, as long as you go through the process and you haven't uploaded something just horrific, Amazon lets it go. Like, they don't go in there and make sure that you have a certain quality to it. Trust me, a friend of mine got put on the cover of a book, and I was like, well, that's weird. This guy basically released 30 copies of the same book with a different girl on the cover for each one.
creepy.
Oh God, I could spend an hour unpacking the level of creepiness of this, but I was like, well, it's on Kindle Unlimited. Let me read it. It wasn't a fucking book. It was a shitty screenplay, kinda. It was awful. It was like
I always get excited when Bob naysay something because I was like, dude, it's got to be heroically
I try
bad.
and be so supportive of indie writers.
Yeah.
If I could have given this 0 stars, one was as low of a star as Amazon would let me give it. And I couldn't not rate this. I had to warn people.
Yeah. Ugh.
God. I read the whole thing too. I was like, if I'm going to give it a shit rating, I'm going to read the whole thing. It only took me an hour to read, but it was fucking awful. Anyway, so there is some real trash on there, but it's not hard to find good books. It's really not. The past few books I've read have been from just I go on there, I can just kind of flip, it's hey, you read this and this, we recommend that you take a look at this. And I'll just kind of go through, flip through them, just look and see which ones have good reviews. Oh, this book has 50 5-star reviews.
Sure.
Ain't no writers like me got 50 friends that are going to leave reviews. I can promise you that. It's impossible to get your friends to leave reviews.
He's not wrong.
So if it's got 50 5-star reviews, that means at least some strangers have read that book that are in no way affiliated with that dude.
And you're like, oh, it was pretty good.
And it was pretty good. So, yeah, you can find some good shit. There's also a lot of more experimental stuff. Lit RPG is a new genre that's kind of coming up. All that shit's on Kindle Unlimited because ain't no big name publisher
Picking it
putting
up
out.
yet, yeah.
Not for real. But yeah.
Well, and there's some things there really are some gems on Kindle Unlimited. Those Charlie N. Holmberg, the Paper Magician books, they've been picked up and optioned by Disney.
Yeah,
so
that's he got picked up by one of the Amazon.
That's a lady.
Is it?
Charlie N. Holmberg. That's a female. She's from Utah, I think.
Neat. Well, she got picked up by
Yeah.
one of the Amazon publishers. I think 47 North.
Yeah. But Disney optioned.
Yeah. So, I like Kindle Unlimited a lot. I would say half the books I've read this year have come off Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah. Most of the books that I've listened to on Audible have been through KU.
Yeah.
Because, I have enough books that I've already paid for. I don't necessarily need KU for reading books, but I definitely use it as a supplement for Audible.
Yeah.
Because it's so inexpensive, and a lot of the times the KU Audible books are going to be shorter.
Yeah.
They're going to be more 6 or 8 hour books, which I can burn through those in a work week.
Yeah.
And
Man, I wish
helps
I
my
had-
Goodreads challenge.
Wish I'd have had that when I was working at Petrie.
Right.
That would have been
Yeah.
I could listen to one of those a day.
Yeah.
Oh man.
With,
Yeah.
Here's Bob's quick recommendation. You're thinking about getting Kindle Unlimited, look up what's the name of the series? I know the last book in the series, it's the Palace Job, the Paladin Caper, but there are 3 books by Patrick Weeks, and you get the Audible book with them. They are real good fantasy heist novels
Yeah.
with free Audible narration. Like, just go on to Kindle Unlimited.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, just
Yep.
download it, and boom, you got this Audible book. All right, so if you have Prime, which I do, because I'm
Yeah,
a
same.
super
Yep.
Amazon fanboy, you get the Kindle Owners Lending Library, which means you can borrow one book each calendar month, and it includes over 1 million books. All right.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. What now?
Yes. All right. So you go on once per month, you can borrow a book from Amazon. I've done it.
Huh.
Like,
It's been a while because I haven't needed to, but there are limitations.
Okay.
But if there's only 3.7 million only,
yeah.
and 1 million of them are in this catalog that you can borrow.
Huh.
So
Well, that's neat.
yeah. So you also get Kindle First.
No, those, yeah.
Yeah, which what that is it's early access to download a new book for free every month from Kindle. What they do is they pick 6 books.
Is that
Yeah.
the email thing I get
Yes.
all the time?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
basically advanced reader copies, kind of
of
that.
But like the book you're listening to right now, Grey House, I got that as a first read.
Oh, nice.
That's how I found it. But like it'll be 6 books from a variety of different genres. There's typically something for kids on there. There's typically some sort of memoir or something historical. And then the rest are going to be, sometimes there's a fantasy book on
Or
there.
a horror book. or-
Sometimes horror. There's pretty much,
There's normally a contemporary fiction.
yeah, and there's normally some sort of thriller
Yeah.
on there. And so you go on there and you pick one. And they just,
Got a couple of things
yeah.
that way.
And it's a free book.
Yeah.
And then I already mentioned Prime Reading. It's free access to over 1,000 top Kindle books, magazines, and comics. But if you're doing audiobooks, they have, with Prime, you get free access to certain Audible channels, which I didn't know about. So Audible Channels is a short-form digital audio service curated by Amazon editors. The list of programs, lectures, and audio editions includes top sources such as the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, or the Harvard Business Review.
So kind of like podcasts.
Kinda, I don't know shit about it. As I was
I
researching
knew
this,
about it, but I just never used it.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
Kind of sounds a little podcasty.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so need to check it out.
Yeah.
When I get done with the Audible book I'm doing now, I'll give it a gander.
Yeah.
Speaking of Audible, so how does Audible work, Bob? Okay, if you've never used Audible,
What are you doing with your life?
It's again, it's an app. You
It's
don't have to have a thing.
yeah, it's an app. I just have it on my phone, and because I listen to them in the car, I just plug my phone into the auxiliary port, and then boom, I've got people reading me books.
You don't have to have internet access. You do
Nope.
initially to download the book,
Yeah.
but you don't have to continually
You don't
connect
yeah,
to the
you
internet.
don't stream
so,
it. You
yeah.
just while you're at home and you're on your Wi-Fi, just download the book, and then it takes like a minute, and then like when you're in the car, just boop boop boop, good
Yep.
to go.
Yep.
So how I did it was I paid for a year, and every month you get a credit. Well, if you paying for a year like
You get all
I
your
did, they
credits at
gave me
once?
all the credits at once. So I got 12 credits, and I was able to use those credits to get each credit gets you one book.
There's no limit as to what book you can get for one credit either.
Right. And they're actually pretty good. Like if you start a book and you realize you really don't like this, they'll refund you the credit.
Yep.
Like it
You can finish the book, and because I did not like a book, and I just kind of spite finished. I was like, this book was awful, and I sent him a message. I was like, I hated literally everything of this book. I finished it because I was hoping it was going to get better. It never got better. I got my credit back.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean, don't
Amazon's customer
abuse
service is
that,
pretty good.
but
yeah. So don't abuse it. Don't abuse it.
I mean, don't try and listen to a good
every book and return every
and
book.
return it back. 'Cause you did not hate Wise Man's Fear.
Right.
Shut up.
Or if you're hated it to every book that you get, don't be that guy. But
Yeah. But so if you think about it, I'd say, what would you say the average length of a book? 20 hours?
19,
more like
20,
19, 20.
18. That's
Because some of them go up to like 35, 40.
12 to
but then-
14 is kind
but
of
then
what I was thinking, because you've got average. There's a lot of shorter books. There's a lot of
the average that people are buying. That they're using
Oh
their
yeah,
credits for.
yeah.
I'd say probably.
Yeah, because I mean, a
on
lot
average,
of the epic fantasy, they don't get more than 45, 50.
Yeah.
So, and those
So-
are like the long ones.
right. Like the longest one I've listened to was Kushiel's Dart. It was over 40 hours, I think, and I was honestly like, that's as much as I'm ever going to listen to anything, really.
Yeah.
But so like yeah, it's for your credit, you're probably going to get about 20 hours of entertainment. You know.
And if you you get the credit every month, but by being an Audible subscriber, you get a discount on
do.
buying Audible books later.
A lot-
Like you don't have to be subscribed to Audible to buy Audible books if you
Yeah.
don't want
They
to
are
do
more
this.
expensive.
They're full cover price.
Yeah.
But if you subscribe to Audible, you do get the free credit, and then there's a certain percentage that you get off on any other book that you want to buy.
Yeah.
And then they have sales.
And you also get.
I don't know when they have those sales, but those sales are dangerous.
They are. It's like, ooh,
They
here's
are.
a $4 book. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the last one they just ran was buy two get one free. Luckily, they didn't have 3 books on that list that I didn't already have or wanted kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because I'm out of credits right now. I'm waiting until my year rolls over. But also, if you're a Prime member, you've got your Audible subscription. Actually, I don't think you have to be a Prime member, but they send you an email every month like, hey, pick 2. Here's
Audible Originals.
Audible Originals.
Yeah, it's not Prime.
Here-
You just have to be an Audible
Yeah.
subscription
If
holder.
you have your Audible subscription, they send you an email every month,
Mm-hmm.
and like, here are 2 Audible Originals. Pick 2 of them, and
Yeah.
they're yours. Now they tend to be shorter. The longest one I've ever gotten from there was probably about 10 hours.
Yeah.
They're normally like 4 or 5 hours, but they're good. Like, there's some really good shit on there. I got a Dan Wells book. I got Stephen Fry's Secret Victoria, which is really cool.
That's where I got New Family Values, which was a good read.
Yeah.
And an enjoyable read.
So I mean, there's some like, I'll admit there have been some months where I just didn't get anything.
I don't think
Like,
I picked last month's. 'Cause
Yeah,
I was
last month I was like, there was
"Eh."
nothing tickled my fancy.
No.
But like every other month, I've gotten at least one thing.
Yeah, 'cause you got an X-Files story from there.
I got an
think.
X-Files. I got a Aliens, like Alien versus Predator, that kind of Aliens story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got some good shit on. I haven't listened to most of them because I've been listening to longer books, but it's like, oh hey, you've used up your credits. Well,
Here's a something.
here's something.
Yeah.
So they have a audio fitness app
Really?
called AAPTIV, so Aptiv, and it's
Like active, but aptive.
yeah. So they've paired up. They've worked with they've worked with the #1 audio fitness app, Aptiv, to create exclusive programs for the body and mind, and they're free for members.
Huh.
And they're going to be available through September 5th of this year. So,
Huh.
I'm going to check that out. Mm-hmm. So that's neat.
That is cool.
All right, so Derek, talk to us a little bit about Twitter a little bit. Like, I'm on Twitter and hate it.
Yeah.
But you are on Twitter and don't hate it.
Right. So I think, first of all, it's important to point out that while you can use, there's a lot of uses for Twitter as a reader. A lot more of it's when you're a writer. So we're not going to go into that, but there's a lot of stuff that as writers you
Yeah.
can...
For writers, if you're trying to get an agent, that's a really good way to find agents.
Even if you're not and you're just trying to ask questions of an agent,
Yeah.
you can just hashtag that and agents will go through there and answer questions for up-and-coming writers.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a lot of stuff going on there. But in my opinion, I think the best thing to do, honestly, is to just find the authors that you like and follow them.
Yeah.
You get a lot of information from these people. They use their Twitters for publicity. So
Yeah.
like if you're trying to follow someone to know when a book is coming out, know when a project is coming out, know when the TV show that they are making has started filming. All these things.
Nicholas Eames has a great Twitter feed.
Oh, I love Nicholas Eames.
He's funny, and he's constantly posting up like, oh, check out this fan art.
Which brings me to another thing that I think is really important about using Twitter as a reader. When you like your authors, chances are they have to read a lot, which means they know other authors that are good that you probably don't know of.
Yeah.
And they like to interact with each other. So you will learn about people and learn about books that you did not have a clue about.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that, but
That's where I've got a couple of things on my wish list from Eames's just
His
him tweeting,
recommendations.
yeah, just from him talking to people. Not even, some of it wasn't even like him being like, "Oh, definitely read this book," but some of it was talking to a person. I was like, "Oh, he's an author. What's he write? Oh, that sounds cool."
yeah.
But things like that. So
He's a big Guy Gavriel K fan.
there's a lot of stuff, like, just by following these people that you already like, you find so much more information about things that you could be enjoying when it comes to reading. Additionally, there's also hashtags, obviously, that
Yeah.
you can use to try and find stuff. One of the more interesting ones, I think, are if you look for just ebooks or hashtag 99C, which is which is the hashtag for when ebooks go on sale for 99 cents.
Oh, I'm all about.
Yeah,
That's dangerous.
That's, oh,
Ooh.
well,
Yeah.
that's speaking my
Now-
language.
That's news for me.
Yeah.
Also, and then you
my.
can also do like hashtag free books and stuff like that, like giveaway and
yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
These things are pretty active with people
Yeah.
anytime they're
I
giving away
hate
books.
Twitter, but
or-
I love free and 99 cents.
yeah,
So.
there's
Yeah.
definitely, and you will find some stuff on that 99 cent.
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
Oh, I bet.
I love it.
But yeah, there's I want to say there was one other really useful hashtag. Oh, I mean, obviously you just am reading. Like, you do
Yeah.
that, you can just find
And
what
if
anybody's
you're-
reading at any given
If you're a
time.
writer, am writing
Yeah.
is popular.
Or
And it-
editing.
Yeah, am editing, am writing, and then you can even get specific, like am writing fantasy, am writing horror. Like
Yeah,
those
you
are
can
good writer-
search specifically for genres,
Yeah.
so that you can find things like that.
Yeah, am reading. Yeah,
Hashtags are. I feel like, for what I think Twitter probably should be used for, hashtags are really good for being able to keep track of what other people are actually reading
Derek,
and
what's,
enjoying.
what's the good hashtag for getting our podcast popular?
If I knew that, people will be hearing this, Bob.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Hashtag
You should
am
find.
rec-
You should find that out.
Hashtag
I'll get on that.
am recording.
Hashtag am recording.
I mean, I'm
There we
sure
go.
there's some stuff out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Okay. So I'm going to briefly touch on Reddit real quick. I'm a avid subscriber to a few Reddits. Whatever genre you're interested in, there is a subreddit out there for you. I do the Reddit, the fantasy subreddit. I live on there because not only do they have like neat conversations, like someone will be like, "Hey, like what." I like this kind of book. What are some other books like that? And you get to, like, someone asked about like fantasy, like I love like Laws of Loch Lamore, that whole heist thing. What are some other books like that? That's how I found out about the Dungeoneers. That's how I found out about the Patrick Weeks books.
Nice.
Stuff like that. Like a lot of good books I've found have been because of that. They also, anytime a book goes on sale, that like a fantasy book of note, someone will link it there. They'll be like, "Oh, hey, that's how the Black Company Omnibus.
Yeah.
When that went on sale, I found out about it because of the fantasy subreddit. I was like, "Oh shit, yes, let me jump on that."
Because I used to have a copy of the first book. I don't
Yeah.
know where it went, or maybe I
Yeah.
gave it to some. I don't.
Well, so there's /fantasy is good for fantasy, but there's even like just /books, like the
Yes,
book
I'm
subreddit.
a
There's
part of /.
yeah, there's
books.
tons of cool conversations going on there. If you're a writer, there's tons of writing subreddits. So Reddit is a good resource to just be part of the community and get, especially like if you see someone like, "Hey, I like this book, I want more like it," and that's a book you like, check those threads out because people will give some really neat recommendations there.
And a lot of times they'll actually explain what
Yeah.
aspects of them are similar,
Yeah.
so that you know kind of what you're getting into.
Yeah, like I know one guy was like, "I really want to read fantasy that deals a lot with economics," and they're like, "Oh, well, the Trader Baru Cormorant has a lot, like it's economic warfare almost." And so
Rise of a Merchant Prince.
that got brought up, but the main was there's a book called Orconomics that
Oh, right,
was
yeah.
that was like, oh, okay, cool. And so I read that book as that. It was really good.
I was about to say that's either something Bob has read or will be
The,
reading.
Yeah,
the
you
sequel
read it,
is
yeah.
called Son of a Lich.
So
So-
Bob will be reading that because of the
Yeah,
pun.
if it was on sale, I would have already bought it.
I like that title. It's clever. Clever.
So Tanya, briefly touch on Tumblr and Instagram for us.
Okay, so y'all follow more. I mean, I know the fantasy subreddit's more community, but I know, Derek, you follow more like specific authors and publishers. I am much more, I don't want to say just about the aesthetic, the reading aesthetic, but I love
You're more about it than we are.
I love a good shelfie. Hashtag shelfie. You need to take a picture of your shelves.
No, we got you.
Oh, yeah, no,
That aesthetic.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I actually did a
Yeah.
BookTube video. Oh, I didn't think to talk about BookTube.
Yeah.
All right, BookTube is a community on YouTube where people talk about books. Just look up BookTube.
It's pretty great. You'll
Yeah,
find a shit ton of
But I've
stuff.
done some BookTube videos, and I did not really a shelfie, but I did a video like, here is my bookshelf of horror books, and here
Yeah.
is my bookshelf of comics, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So shelfie, yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, shelfie. So on Tumblr, you can. There are some specific people that you can follow that I'm aware of, but a lot of the time it's going to be also the same hashtags are going to get you where you want to go. And then from there, if there's someone who's creating content or putting up content that you want, follow them independently. But for book deals, Monday through Friday, I know you go to the fantasy subreddit, but
Yeah.
I follow a Tumblr who Monday through Friday goes through the listings on Amazon for Kindle Daily deals and posts those up. It's that Tumblr is Forever Lost in Literature.
Yeah, I've started following that too, and they're
So, but that's where I find a lot of the stuff, and it's gonna be not just Kindle books. There's at least 2 physical books that are listed every time.
yeah, there'll be 2 hardbacks or paperbacks that are like 65%
Yeah.
off or something like that.
So I mean, like, I think I didn't get it because I already had a physical copy, but I think they had Name of the Wind as a physical deal, and it was like $3, like $3.99.
I would have bought another one just because I
So-
know eventually I'm going to
Yeah,
give
give it
that
away.
to
Yeah.
somebody else.
Well, now that I've given all of my Rothus books away to someone who has moved to the end of the state, I probably should have. But that Forever Lost in Literature, that's also a hashtag, hashtag book deals.
Yeah.
So you can find it there. If you're into YA and really are trying to make yourself read more diversity conscious books, there's a Tumblr called Diverse Reads. It is YA heavy, but it's a lot of like intentionally diverse settings and characters and things like that. So if that's something that you want to push yourself into read more, that's a good Tumblr to follow. In doing research for this, I found one that's the Book Ferret, the book ferret, the Book Ferret. It is more aesthetic based. There's like a lot of book pictures, but she has a ferret, and so her little ferret is like
In all the book pictures.
in all the book pictures. It's adorable. I love it.
I'm not mad at that.
I love it. I
I'm
love
not
it.
mad at that.
But the same hashtags for Tumblr you could use, I'm sure, for Twitter or Instagram for sure.
Instagram uses Bookstagram.
Bookstagram. You can do hashtag bookish. Shelf aesthetic, shelfie, bookshelf, bibliophile, book nerd, book addict, any of those things. But Bookstagram, and then I've seen a lot of the same am reading, am writing
Yeah.
hashtags.
I need to work on my hashtag
Yeah.
game for promoting this and myself.
Yeah. But yeah, on Tumblr, just hashtags in general, that's going to get you in the direction that you want to go on Tumblr, on Instagram, on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then you can find,
All sorts of good shit.
you can find a whole bunch of random stuff, or, find a content creator that speaks to you.
Yeah.
Because I really like Forever Lost in Literature as a Tumblr from the book deals side of things. So help me spend my money, please.
Don't do that for me, please.
Oh god.
It's so
I
bad.
require my money.
I've done better this year than last year. I spent a ridiculous amount of money on
You
books
remember how
last
at the
year.
beginning of the year I was like, I'm not buying any books in
You've
2019.
lost
Yeah.
already, haven't you?
Oh, honey, I lost like
2 days in.
yeah, I think I maybe made it a week, and then I was
Yeah.
like, well, I can't not buy that.
Can't not buy all these books.
I need it.
So
So, but yeah, hashtags are definitely probably going to be your way to go on something that's outside of Reddit.
yeah.
And you can use the same hashtags on Facebook. I know we didn't really plan on talking about Facebook.
Facebook hashtags just no one people use them, but no one
Do they
really
really?
uses them.
Well, I think the issue with Facebook and hashtagging is I think a lot of people have figured out that you need to not have your stuff be full ass public, and a hashtag on a private or a friends only post is pointless.
Yeah.
You know,
And
what
if
shows
you're
up.
that kind of person that has a full public Facebook,
Yeah, but there are
that creeps me
pages.
out.
There are Facebook pages. You're not going to get the same
Yeah.
draw from a lot of sources as you would like Twitter or Tumblr or Instagram, where if you just did, hashtag bookish, you're going to draw from a lot of content creators. But on Facebook, you may not get that many pages.
Look,
but still, that's a place to look.
let's
There's
be
a lot
real.
of groups. That's really the thing. Is like I know I'm
Facebook
in
groups, yeah.
Yeah. We're in a couple, like an Alabama reader group, and
I'm in a Rothfuss fan group that talks about King Killer Chronicles
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of specific interests like that, but like I'm in a large planner group, and then like paper planners, and then like there's a sub group of that where we get together and talk about books. It's the Llama Library, and then that's where I've learned about a lot of my more contemporary fiction. It's where I figured out about Cersei and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Well, cool.
a lot of sources.
Anything else you want to add real quick before we...
I just want to go ahead and say this now that I've decided that I'm the best.
Okay.
So moving forward, I'm going to be the best.
Also, don't sleep on your local thrift store.
Yeah.
I've picked up a ton
Oh.
of books for like
yeah.
50 cents, a buck, like good books. Don't sleep on that thrift store, y'all.
Yeah, no, I've bought... I would say, conservatively, I've probably bought 500 books from thrift stores.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've given most of them away.
A
at
lot
this
of them
point,
are in
but-
my back seat right now.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, like, I don't go to that's what I go to a thrift store for, is like, let me see
Books.
what books we got.
Yeah.
Or maybe some weird art for the wall, because
Yeah. Weird art's best.
dig that.
So, all right. I hope that was informative to y'all. I hope you learned something. I hope that you were like, ooh, hey, you know what? I need to jump on this. Get that Kindle Unlimited. Buy that Kindle. Something like that. What'd be best, what'd be fucking great, is if you decide to buy a Kindle.
Through our
If you went to our
affiliate link.
website, booksbeardsbooze.com, and clicked our affiliate link and bought it through our affiliate link,
Yeah.
that would be so awesome. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps us out because we have a lot of expenses to keep this thing going.
Yep.
So, but yeah, as always, please check us out, booksbeardsbooze.com. What? And in the coming week, may the blessing of the beard be upon you.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Books, Beards, Booze. Our co-hosts are Bob, Derek, and Tanya. Our producer is Bob. For more information, visit our website, booksbeardsbooze.com. Follow our social media at Tales by Bob. If you enjoyed this podcast, please rate, subscribe, and share. Okay, bye.